I'm not sure if I'd buy this for $1.
Come on now, that's right. Come on now, that's right.
But, you know, that's why I'm here, to talk about the new RoboCop remake and tell you if you should buy this for $1. Okay, so this new RoboCop takes place in the year 2028, about 14 years from where we are now. The corporation Omnicorp has been selling off machines, including the Ed 209, to U.S. military forces to basically patrol areas of the world. The CEO of that company, played by Michael Keaton, wants to sell them to United States Police Force to basically take over the role of officers. But the general public is not too fond of the idea of machines acting as law enforcement. So they come up with the idea of, let's put a man in a machine and have that be something that the public can rally behind and hopefully change their minds. And so that practically becomes gift wrapped in the form of Detective Alex Murphy, played by Joel Kinnaman, who gets critically injured, and with the help of Dr. Dennett Norton, played by Gary Oldman, he is repaired and rebuilt as RoboCop, as he goes out to fight crime, solve his own murder, and uncover some serious corruption in the city of Detroit. As if that's ever new. Now, I'm going to make a semi-confession. I've never seen the original RoboCop until a few nights before. And that movie is really, really fantastic. It's got good acting, some clever dialogue, really clever satire. The Go Motion effects by Phil Tippett for Ed 209 are pretty cool. And it's really a fantastic staple in terms of 1980s action films. If you've never seen the original RoboCop, then get off your ass and go see it right now. Now, I did make it a point to see the original RoboCop before seeing this new movie, but I am going to review this movie on its own without drawing any comparisons or resources to the original film, because whether a movie's a remake and adaptation, it should be able to stand alone as its own thing. And for what it is, I thought it was pretty good. Not great, not anything groundbreaking. It doesn't push the action genre to new heights, but I thought it was a pretty entertaining movie. I was never bored in this movie. There was never ever a point in this movie where I wanted to tune out, or I was like, oh my god, just go to the next scene. And it had some neat things to differentiate from the first movie, mainly in terms of the designs of stuff. I like the sound design for this movie, all the sound effects for RoboCop and 209 and so forth, and the performances from Gary Oldman, Michael Keaton, and Samuel L. Jackson I thought were pretty good. Now, when I say this movie is not groundbreaking, I really do mean that. While the action is cool, it's not at all spectacular. There's never a moment where you would go, wow, that was awesome. You're just like, it's cool. And then I have to say, the kid, I like saying that as if he's younger than me. The guy who plays Alex Murphy / RoboCop, Joel Kinnaman, is terrible in this movie. He is god awful. There's a point in this movie where once he becomes RoboCop, soon after he becomes RoboCop, where it's like, oh, well, the machine part of him has taken over, so he can't feel human emotion. And I was thinking to myself, you mean to tell me he was feeling human emotion before he became RoboCop? Because honestly, I thought he was more human as RoboCop than he was as a human. Okay, I didn't want to go this route. I said I wanted to review this as its own, but going back to Peter Weller in the first RoboCop, I'm not going to say he was like Oscar caliber acting, but at least he did do a good job. He had charisma, and you really cared what was going on with him. This movie, I was just entertained by the action scenes, and if it wasn't for that and the supporting cast, Joel Kinnaman would have dragged this entire movie with him because he is that bad. I did have some other complaints about this movie, but they all required me drawing comparisons to the original RoboCop, which I'm not going to do. But I gotta say, in order for you to understand the rating I'm going to give this movie, I just had to point out that the other negatives I had were just things that the original movie did better. You know what? I'm actually going to give it 2 ratings. As just an action movie on its own merits, I think it's good, but it's not great. While the action is cool and the three actors that I mentioned are good in their roles. It doesn't take the genre into any new territory, and you're better off just waiting till it comes out on Blu-ray to rent it, or just catch it on TV. But if you do happen to go see this in the theater, and trust me, during this time of the year, there are plenty of single guys who are going to go see this movie, probably, you probably won't be disappointed. But as a RoboCop remake, watch it at your own risk. It's nowhere as good or as clever as that original movie. They're not even in the same ballpark. And while this is better than most remakes out there, again, it's not any more special. It's not on par or an improvement over the original. And you are obviously better off watching the original. But if you want to see a really good RoboCop remake, then go watch the first Iron Man movie. When I saw the original RoboCop, there were a lot of elements that reminded me of Iron Man, because I saw Iron Man before seeing RoboCop, and I was like, oh, it's cool to see where Iron Man drew a lot of its inspiration outside of the original comics. But when watching this movie, I was like, yeah, this is pretty much Iron Man. I've already seen this before, but I didn't hate it. I wouldn't even say it's a bad movie. It's just, again, not great. I don't think I'll have any desire to see this movie again. I will stick to the original RoboCop and stick to Iron Man. And that's my review for the 2014 remake of RoboCop. Leave a comment, tell me what you thought of the movie. Subscribe to my channel for more stuff in the future. Check out my other channel, AlexG8462. You can follow me on Twitter at AlexG8462. Follow me on Instagram at TheRealMrRobinson. And go like my Facebook page, /TheCinemas with Mr. Robinson. Share me with your friends and tell them about me. And remember to know it before you see it. This has been The Cinemas with Mr. Robinson, and I'll see you guys later.